Hello everyone, welcome to my showcase of Skyrim Remastered. In this video I'm going to showcase gameplay to show off all of my mods that upgrade Skyrim to a 2023 game. I made a video 2 months ago after just returning to the modding scene, and it received tremendous praise and support. But a few people had questions. A lot of people want to see a mod list that stays true to the original game, while still maintaining all of the modern technology that mods have developed over the last 12 years. After scouring through hundreds of other people's mod lists and doing research, I wasn't able to find one that does it quite right.
It might not be lore-friendly, Whiterun having this many trees.
So, I decided to reach out to a few of the original developers who worked on the game, to get their thoughts on what was important and what made Skyrim unique. And the cornerstone of what makes Skyrim different from other games starts with the atmosphere. Skyrim is a cold and mountainous region in the north of the continent, and it is important to showcase that when it comes to the environment. Everything from the color palette to the grass and trees needs to represent a land that is harsh and frigid. A lot of the groundwork was focused on the environment. There are hundreds of tree mods to choose from when we are adding content to the game, and I came to realize that the pine trees were essential to recreating the game from scratch. Northern Roads is also a staple in my playthrough. It removes all of the vanilla paving and remodels the road structure around the entire world to be unique and diverse. If you are someone who has checked out modded Skyrim over the years, you may have noticed that I'm not using MCO by D-Star for the combat. It's important to acknowledge Skyrim's combat for what it is, and the freedom to be able to move around while you are channeling your swings is actually a lot more fun than getting locked into a static animation. A good comparison that I like to look at is World of Warcraft. The freedom to move around as a warrior or a rogue and wildly swing is a lot more fun than being a caster and being locked to the ground. That doesn't mean that we didn't change anything to improve the combat. Later on during our combat showcase, you will see all the mods we use to ensure modern standards.
By tanning some leather on the raft.
In traditional Skyrim fashion, we're going to go explore some runoff caverns towards the southeast. This beautiful world map is a lot easier to read and navigate compared to its predecessor. It feels more akin to a classic RPG, just like how Fallout has the Pip-Boy attached to your arm. Your Skyrim character whips a map out of his pants to lead the way forward. Our remake of the original Skyrim's combat focuses on maintaining the similarities between first and third-person combat. Other games focus on 1 or 2 opponents, while Skyrim has you fighting large groups of bandits and zombies. The aggression and intensity in combat is what is most important, because difficult combat adds a sense of reward. Spamming the block button is no longer going to work. Instead, it is changed to a 1-second timed parry. We have to intelligently maneuver the field of battle and kite opponents to achieve victory. Swords realistically bounce off of each other if you and your opponent swing at the same time. Thanks to a mod known as Precision, everyone in the game has a more accurate hitbox. This means that to land a certain attack, you might have to switch between first and third person to gain accuracy. Our system at its core encourages switching to first person every now and then, because that is what makes Skyrim Skyrim. Our stagger system allows us to keep enemies at bay while we monitor our stamina, removing the worst part of the original combat. That being the spam left-click simulator. The original combat animations are very awesome, but something was missing from our original sprint animation. We added procedural leaning, dynamic running, and a realistic camera shake. True to an RPG, the game systems have been rebalanced towards a class-based system for a better roleplay experience. It isn't impossible to be a jack of all trades, but certain situations will call for a different approach.
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak. Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
For our ENB, we utilize an edited version of Cabbage, which you can find in the description below. To create the Nordic color palette that I talked about earlier, I spent over 10 hours creating a reshade preset to put over the ENB that we downloaded. The result is pure beauty. The biggest thing I was impressed with towards the end of the project is how every mod that I downloaded blends together seamlessly. It just works.
The Imperial machine enforces the will of the Dalmor against its own people. So rise up, children of the Empire. Rise up, Stormcloaks. Embrace the word of mighty Dalos, he who is both man and divine.